when you analyze anything that's happening with the Supreme Court, you have to see it in the context of a larger attempt by the right-wingers on this court to return this country to a time that was pre-civil rights, to return this country to a time that was pre-campaign finance, to the era of robber barons, and understand where this court is going when we talk about any of these issues. This case was not specifically about the constitutionality or even the merits of affirmative action or race-conscious admissions policies in higher education. This, according to Justice Kennedy in his pro-ban opinion. In 2006, Michiganders voted, I think it was like a 52 or to 48, or maybe it was even starker than that, to ban race-based preferences in 2006 in a referendum. And the question here was, will the Supreme Court uphold that ban as voted in the referendum? There was 7 states have banned it, in addition to Michigan. And the arguments against it were provided by Sonia Sotomayor, and they very much focused on the notion of the political process doctrine. I don't want to get too weedy here with this, but the political process doctrine is rooted in the 14th Amendment and basically says that when a court is to look at whether or not a state can make a determination as to whether or not it will ban, in this case, affirmative action policies for higher education, they must also look to the ability of minorities to actually have the opportunity to fully engage in the political process that led to a ban in this case. But undergirding much of those who landed, and I should say the case was decided 6-2, Kagan abstained. I'm not exactly sure. She may have been involved in the case in some fashion. And Breyer sided with the majority, but in a very limited fashion. But when you look at Thomas's and Scalia's, and to a certain extent Roberts and Scalito's, I should say Alito's ruling, you will see a slow march to finding that affirmative action policies may not be constitutional. That the idea of having any type of race-conscious legislation or policies is racial discrimination. In other words, saying that you can't remedy past racial discrimination by being race-conscious today. It's an absurd principle.